Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. What do you do if you're a Labour minister getting grilled live on air via a Zoom or something, and it's not going very well, and you're getting your arse handed to you by Nick Ferrari from LBC? Well, you could do what Alison McGovern did. She's local government minister, and she was absolutely being ripped apart. Ferrari, who is one of the few actually on LBC that's any good, um, had a go at her and said about I was talking about what have they done for poor people, and she said, "Well, we've frozen train fares. They're scrapping elections, but they're going to freeze train fares. Oh, that's good." And he said, "How will freezing train fares help people?" He says, "I very much doubt these people who are poor are regularly using the trains. You think someone on the edge of poverty is regularly getting on trains? Do you?" Well, all of this thing was all sort of splutter and stutter and blah, 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 and whatever. There was no real answer to it. And McGovern insisted that it would help because if they wanted to get a job, they could get to work by train. Yes, if they worked somewhere near a train station, maybe. But she was asked what's the median wage in Britain. Not a clue. Didn't know. He went to talk to her about the highly controversial scrapping of of elections, and we know why that is. He said, "Why is it being deemed necessary that 7.5 million people are not allowed to vote for their mayors?" Anyway, she began to answering. She said, "So the new mayors you're referring to, they're inaugural mayors. They're new posts." She said, "The process we're undergoing is to reorganise local government. So we have unitary councils, where at the moment we have district and councils." And she said the reason for that is there's a lot of confusion. Yeah, hang on a minute. If there's confusion when you're changing the councils, you're not stopping those elections, and yet there's no confusion by adding a mayor. Why are you stopping them? Well, I'm going to tell you now, before we go, just an aside, the reason is they want to change the rules. So instead of being first past the post, it's done on a, proportional representation basis. And so they're hoping that if they get the PR version, that they can then basically substantiate the two opposing views into one and get a different person that's not reform elected. Because they know if it went today, all four of those mayors would be reform. That's the real reason. Anyway, he pointed out that in all the areas as well, I was just saying, where all the mayors are going to be elected, those local elections, which are confusing and changing, are also going ahead. It was at this point that there was she's gone. I think it's frozen. And then silence. Do we believe that it's frozen? Or do we think that it was all getting a bit too much for Alison McGovern? A woman who was sent out to die, basically. Go march towards the guns of Nick Ferrari, they said. You won't be able to answer the questions because, like everyone else in the Labour Party, you're thick as custard and you don't know the answers. And he's going to ask some very pertinent questions and you're going to blubber and mouth open like a guppy. And then do what you want. Say what you want. We don't care. We're past caring now. Doesn't really matter. We know we're not getting elected. And then instead of that, she just very bravely went, "Oh, I think it's broken," and ran away. Alison McGovern, I'm giving you the prize of Coward of the Week. I don't know whether that's with a double E or an EA. Either way. Thanks very much. Bye.